Hey you guys, this is Twisty once again with another book review. Review of the book. This is 50 Shades of Grey. Apparently it was 25% off. Yay, I'm not only, a good reader, I'm an avid shopper and trying to save a deal. It was written by E.L. James. It's one of the biggest top sellers in literature right now. This whole 50 Shades of Grey, it's the trilogy by the author E.L. James. She is a she. And she was a TV executive. She's an otherwise. She's in West London. It's a little bio is given in the beginning of the book. I was kind of surprised as a British author, but then based off the content, maybe that's kind of the reason why it is a person maybe that's European rather than American, because I don't know if American really releases stuff that to this level. The reason why I say this because I almost want to say it comes with a warning. This is not just a traditional romance; it's an erotic romance. So it's supposed to be a mature audience to read this book. So I have read it, okay? Did it make me blush? Well, I'm black. I can't really blush. But if I was lighter, maybe I could. Okay. This book, in general, as you can see, there's a tie on the cover of it, which the tie is significant, is in a little fun that happens in the book. The book has two main characters, Anastasia Steele and Christian Grey. Interesting, Steele and Grey. Just in general, as far as, thinking about characters and why name people certain things. Anastasia seems a little weird and a little out there, but they call her Anna. And then Christian Grey, of course, most of the time they call him Mr. Grey. He's a billionaire executive. She's a new graduate, a college graduate who just, recently got a diploma and everything. She's looking out to venture into the job world. And she's intelligent. She meets Mr. Grey because of an interview that she has to do on behalf of her friend, which is a roommate. So her roommate is sick, can't make it, so Anna has to suck up and does this interview with this billionaire, which automatically is for a school paper, so it seems kind of odd that the billionaire would be doing an interview with a local paper. But he's going to be giving out degrees on campus, and that's one reason why they were able to get the interview. So automatically she meets him. They're both infatuated with each other. Basically, she sees him as walking beautiful. So, I mean, a guy that's so beautiful, he literally stops traffic. And I didn't think people of that beautiful caliber existed, but they do. So, after meeting people that are this beautiful, that really literally, they stop traffic, that I can believe now that people like this really do exist. And she meets with him, she becomes infatuated with him, and you kind of then delve into their relationship, and you find out about Grey. And you find out that he has a red room of pain, and he's into BDSM. And if you're not for sure what that is, I would say look it up, because I won't go into too much detail on it. Having said that, what it basically means is that when to get sexual pleasure, he decides to use bondage of some form. He likes to dominate, and he likes a submissive. Now, it's not always bondage. It's not always that. It kind of can switch up. Sometimes maybe hands, handcuffs. Maybe get out a flogger and spankings. Sometimes it can get very, very in your face. There can do a lot of very, very weird. Well, I won't say weird because I won't judge. Odd, as in outside of the normal things when it comes to getting sexual release. So it can go way beyond what this book even approaches. This book does more of the lighter, I think, part of it. And the part that maybe more people would be willing to do, if they explored a little bit of their sexual, just had a little fun during sex kind of thing. It does not do anything that's really gross. Now, maybe demoralizing, but I guess it kind of depends on what your standards are on what you will do and what you won't do. So I think the book does explore, from an average person entering into this life to a person who's already been in this life. And then on top of that, surprise, surprise, she's a virgin. So her first sexual experience, is already borderlining into oh, that's what you are. So I think overall, the one thing about the book that really surprised me is that the writing, I thought it was going to be just vulgar and nasty and just childish, and actually it was pretty good. It is still a romance novel. You are still learning about a couple trying to meet each other and trying to really work beyond their flaws and trying to really get to know each other. And it amazes me that some of the writing in it is actually really nice. I was actually surprised by L. James that the writing in it was actually pretty good. You really do get to know both characters pretty well, except for the mystery of Gray. I mean, he has a lot of dark skeletons and closets and other things than Red Room Pain. So he has a very, very dark past. You don't know much about him. But you understand the character is mysterious, so you know enough about him to understand he's mysterious, and you accept that. So I really do believe that if you want to read this book, it comes with a warning. It is erotic, highly erotic, and this is the most sexual book I've ever read in my entire life. Now, are there probably more sexual than this one? Maybe so, but something about this one really, really pushes the bar, really pushes the limit, but yet you feel a little dirty maybe if you like it, but you don't feel like it was porn, you know. So I think that if you want to read something that has a lot of sexual stuff in it without borderlining just this is just nasty porn. Maybe some people do think it's smut. I don't know. Somebody probably did. But if you removed all the sex scenes, you just looked at the story and the way it's written and the way it unfolds, it actually still was a pretty good story to be told. I think the sex just kind of enhances it. So I definitely say check this book out. I cannot give it a low rating because it's actually pretty well written. I think that the E.L. James was a very creative, smart author who knows what she wanted to put out there and what she wanted to read, and she knew what her goal was, and she has achieved it. This book has been #1 for I don't know how long in books. That's huge. So she's doing fine. I'm pretty sure eventually it's going to be a movie, TV show, or something, because it's just too popular not to have something transform. So check back here soon. I will be reading the second book of the series, and you can find out more about that. But definitely, if you have not read this book and you are a big reading buff and you just have to find out what's popular in literature and you just have to know why is everyone reading this, check this book out. I definitely can't discredit it. She's a very intelligent author. This is the first book of the series. That's 50 Shades of Grey. I'll be reading the second one here soon, which is 50 Shades Darker. So it gets darker than this. It can get darker, and this is pretty dark and twisted and kinky. But hey, I always say read more. So check it out, read it. You'll probably like it. It's Twisty. Check you guys later.